What's up guys, Guillaume here, and welcome to my channel, welcome back to my channel, it depends. But welcome to Formula 1 Manager 2022. It is an absolute pleasure for me to be able to upload this on pre-release thanks to the team at Frontier. This was meant to be a first impressions kind of video. Instead, you're going to get a bit more of an in-depth review because I'm going to be extremely transparent. I launched the game just to see how it was, and it turns out I liked it way too much, and I'm Season 2 of Alpine right now. So, what I'm going to do, the way the video is going to work, it's about 20-25 minutes, and we are going to just go through one race weekend, but also take a look at everything in the game. I'm going to try and condense it with my Alpine save, and if you want to see more of the F1 Manager save or game, I guess, in the future, then I'm gonna set a very nice objective at 200 likes if you want to see some more F1 on the channel, whether it's, on YouTube or on Twitch, that will be up to you. But yeah, one thing, I'm re-recording the intro. The audio is a bit funky at sometimes because of the engine noise slash in-game communication noise slash my voice. So there's a few times where there's a bit of an overlap. I'll try and fix it as much as I could, but yeah, just enjoy the video and I'll see you soon. Bye. I've removed myself from the screen so that you can see better. But you have, as I said, your team hub. Here is your current rankings. You've got your drivers, your upcoming events, your calendar, or like the next race, and the standings, which are located here. And on the bottom, all of the tabs you need to know. So I set the home, then your inbox, classic, just like any manager game, you've got an inbox with some debrief, performances, scouting updates, if you've got any updates on manufacturing pieces and everything. So that's always a good point to look. Then you've got your calendar, classic, with in blue, you've got the practice sessions, or the race weekend, should I say. Here you've got an ATR, I'll explain it, everything. Then you've got all of the circuits, so you have every single circuit of the season, starting from Bahrain and ending in Abu Dhabi with the updated tracks. Then you've got race weekend preparation, your cars with like the build of your cars, I'll go in depth with this. Your drivers, car 1, car 2 and reserve. Yes, I do have Charles Leclerc as name instead of Fernando Alonso. Your staff with the 2 race engineers, head of aerodynamics and technical. Your staff with your technical chief, your head of aero, and both your race engineers. Then you've got facilities with 3 different categories. I'll go very quickly into this, but you've got car development, which you can improve when you want for a certain amount of money. Then you've got staff facilities, which is good for like the morale of your team and just improving the attractiveness and everything. And the operations facilities, which helps for money and sponsors. You've got your board, kind of like basically FM, if you've got like your board's objectives, the board's confidence. If everything's fine, then I guess everything's fine. Your finances, your season balance, the monthly balance, the provisions, the cost cap, and basically that is it. And then you've got the standings. One thing that I really liked going into Season 2 is that there were transfers. I was a bit skeptical because I traded for Leclerc mid-season. And Alonso did not go to Ferrari. Alonso was a free agent and Ferrari had signed Jack Doohan, so I was a bit worried. You do have F1, F2 and F3 in the game, but you can only play F1. There's no races for F2, F3. But there has been a few changes for some of the drivers. Alonso did go to Ferrari. Mercedes, Alpine, Red Bull did not change. Alfa Romeo got Pierre Gasly as a second driver. Vettel has gone to AlphaTauri. So has Guan Yu Zhou, as a matter of fact, I had forgotten about that. Nothing changed with McLaren, still Lando and Danny Rick. Latifi's gone to Haas, which is sad. Williams has signed Tsunoda and Schumacher, and Albon has gone to Aston Martin. You can see that some of the reserve drivers were F2 previously, so you've got Ralph Boschung, Yuri Vips, Richard Verschoor, Yann Daruvala. Also, I've signed Piastri for my reserve for 5 years, so I don't know what he's going to do. I think the part most people care about is the actual progression in the game. And we're going to take a look real quickly at the car 1, and basically this is the most important point for you. This is where you're going to see the improvement and where you can improve in the future races. It's a lot more in-depth than just F1 as in like F1 game compared to F1 Manager. You've got a lot more things to take care of. You also have things that are recommended for certain circuits, like crucial for certain circuits. And if the values, even if very precise, don't really help you, which is probably logical unless you're like an engineer, you can just take a look at the rank on the grid. And you can see that right now we're sitting basically the 4th best team. So by 9th, they take it into consideration that 2 cars exist, so car 1 and car 2. So not 9th out of 10, but 9th out of 20. So yeah, roughly 4th best team, and you've got as well the powertrain, which you cannot improve. That's just a contract you signed at the beginning of the season with a certain manufacturer, but because I'm Alpine, I had to take with right now. When it comes to the development of your parts, you can see I've got 2 projects currently on the way, on the bottom right of your screen right there, if I go to your project. Good thing, you have engineers to allocate. You also have certain amounts of wind tunnel hours that you can put in. You have different ATRs, which is the period in which you can test, and I think it's like 2 or 3 months. So if you spend everything too early, then for like the rest of that period you can't improve. But you can still manufacture some of your pieces, and that's the good thing. You can just manufacture whatever you want, the better if it's a piece that's been improved. But if we take a look at my front wing, for example, which I've already created a bit earlier, you can just decide 3 different approaches: normal, rushed, or emergency, and have the amount of pieces you want. Let's say I want 4 front wings, so 2 per car, which is very much crucial. I don't know if it was a glitch or just normal, but I had Charles Leclerc crashing into one qualification session in Q2, and I did not have any backup of the design of the front wing, therefore his qualification was done. But you can see that 4 front wings would take around 13 days to be made, which is alright, but if you want to have them quicker, you can have rushed. That's going to be 8 days, but you're going to have to pay a bit more, and if you want them now, you can do emergency. Everything's going to be right now, however, you'll have to pay, again, a bit more. Regarding the drivers, their progression is linked to dev points. I'm going to give one in defending to Charles Leclerc. Contract-wise, I had to give him 17 million to sign. He was on 14 at Ferrari. So yeah, big contract, big race target bonuses. He was the only driver that was willing to come to Alpine that was better rated than Alonso. And I figured, you know what, why not get Leclerc? I could have gone for like the realistic signing and probably like get, I don't know, Piastri, just promote him. But I wanted to give Charles Leclerc a spot in Alpine. I like the fact that they've actually put his head on an Alpine suit, and it doesn't look fake. But yeah, so far he's doing quite well with us. Because you do have the history. He had not many races with us, but he got a win and 4 podiums last year, and already 1 race and 1 win, because we've won in Bahrain. Alright, we're going to move on to the race weekend. First, let's take a look at the performances target. That's a good thing if you want to get a bit more money a bit more finances in your team. You have one mandatory objective, or incentive, I guess. So for us, it will be to just reach Q2 with 2 drivers. But if you want to be a bit ballsy and try to reach Q3 with 2 drivers, you can get a bit more money in qualifying position. I reckon I've got... So, what's the objective? It is... I think it was 1 and 6, right? Yeah, so I can get 130k if I finish 6. But I'm just going to go with 2 drivers in the top 10, and I'll be fine. For the race, I'll have a finished position. I guess I can probably have 2 drivers above in 9, knowing Esteban Ocon is most likely going to crash. And hot streak target, just need to basically do every objective, but I failed that in Bahrain. Last thing before we start, my chassis and I believe it was the side pods that just got manufactured. So, no sorry, that just got designed. So we're gonna have to manufacture them. I'll go with 4, that's alright. I don't really need to rush them because it's early season. If you don't remember what you created, just know that you've got a 2 or the number in the latest designs. So for me, I've created suspension here. Wasn't the side pod. And again, I'll go with 4. They should take about 21 days to make. That's alright. You'll receive everything when everything is created. So, for example, there's one that comes in 5 days, but you won't get that in 5 days.
Formula One is back. Welcome to one of the fastest circuits on the calendar here at Jeddah.
Alright, your race weekend is as follows. You've got practice 1, practice 2, then practice 3, qualifying and race as always. You can already try and maybe make some of your strategies, some of your setups. Usually for Q1 I just put a Scorpiastri in, try and give him some experience, we'll say. And I usually simulate practice 1 so that I can get just a rough idea of where I'll need to put the setup going into practice 2 and practice 3. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to simulate the session, and well, I'll see you for the start of practice 2. And as you can see, Verstappen led. So Alfa Romeo has settled as like the third force from what I've seen following the regulations changes that there's been in season 1. There was some changes regarding the wings, both front and rear. So yeah, Alfa settled in third. Mercedes has fallen a bit, but the rest still Williams and Aston at the back. AlphaTauri has fallen as well. Gasly carried them, but it looks like this year it's going to be difficult. So as you can see, the setup is terrible. Usually they give me 50% after FP1, not 24. So you've got 5 different sliders to try and maximize oversteer, braking stability, cornering, traction, and straights. Straights is the only good thing so far, so I'm going to try and make this a better setup, run it in FP2. If it doesn't work, come back in the pit and change it. Welcome to Jeddah, Saudi Arabia for FP2. We're going to send immediately Charles Leclerc out. I've done his setup, hopefully. It should be quite good. You've got 5 different cameras for the in-race. So you've got a cockpit cam, you have a rear cam, which is good if you want to defend from someone. You also have another T-cam, sorry. Kind of like a dynamic camera, which you would see on the F1 game in replay mode. And finally, you've got a front wing to feel the speed. But for now, I'm just going to run the few setups I did, as I said. So you have a few changes here. You can change your time management, you can change your fuel management, and your ERS management. So everything so far is as you would expect. Here you've got some of your goals. Rankings are on the left side. That's perfect. And then on the right side, you've got the weather, track temperature, if there's water on it, the rubber, the grip, every stat that you would need in a management game. I haven't really felt like they play too much role and track rubber and track grip. The dryness of it, or the humidity, I guess, of the track is quite important. From 1 to 4 millimeter, you have to be on inters. Above 4, you have to go on wet, and it really does change something. So yeah, be aware or be on the lookout whenever there's rain. I don't think we'll see any in Saudi Arabia.
Any comments on balance?
Ow!
Great job, guys. That is hard work paying off there, right there.
I mean, that's I got 78% on the setup confidence. That's the best setup I ever had in an entire season. We moved on to qualification for the Saudi Grand Prix. You do have the telemetry. If you want to see it, you can compare both your drivers, but you have to remember that they're not on the same place of the track at the same time. What I usually do is I just put both timings. I feel like the game is a bit too informatic, we'll say. I don't think that's a word, but for example, it's basically impossible for Esteban Ocon to make a better time than Charles Leclerc, unless Charles has an issue. And if Charles pulls out like a very good lap that puts him P4, you can be certain that his second run, should he have a second run, is going to be within 10 or 15 like thousandths of a second compared to that first lap. It's very difficult to pull out an absolute weldy. So there's a lot less of an element of surprise. You can't have Esteban just P1 because he's at a great lap. No. And slipstream also doesn't work, so you can't have one of your riders or drivers, sorry, just like leading them out in like Spa or Baku. That doesn't work as well. So yeah, I think qualification is a bit too informatic, a bit too predictable as well. What I really like is the fact that you have actual drivers and managers' voices. It just adds something, a bit of a realism to the game. It's not much, but it's just something I really like. We started P2, and you see that's one of my main issues with the game, and the fact that this is one of my main issues really shows that the game is quite well made and quite good. But the fact that I can't take a look at what I did in Q2, or in Q1 in that case, it just sadly is impossible. And here you can see the screen where you can change your tires, change your car parts, change your setup, and run some plans if you want to do more flying laps, put more fuel. Basically, I've gone for a brand new set of stuff and hope for the best final call. And our lap for Q3 is underway. I'm going to let you ride with Leclerc, and I'll see you in about 1 minute and 20 seconds. And P6 it is for the race. Probably one of the most important screens when it comes to the race. Your strategy. You're offered 3 different types of strategies. You've got I guess, but you've got A, B, C in it. One with a 2-stopper, the others are 1-stoppers, basically the opposite of each other. But you can also create whatever strategy you want to go or to go with. I think I'll run a medium hard for Charles, and for Esteban, I think I'll try something different. Actually, I'll go with hard and medium for Esteban. Yeah, sounds about right. You can change the fuel, the driver options from the start. From the get-go, I'll go in very much attacking because we want to be good out of the starting block. And with that, let's go to the race.
The drivers are lined up tonight under mostly clear skies. We're now moments away from this, the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
And we are on the way for this Grand Prix. I won't show the entire Grand Prix. I'll just show maybe like the opening lap when DRS comes on. If there's a crash, I'll show you how it works as well. And if we're in some sort of battle, you'll definitely be made aware of it. But I guess the first impressions are more about the game itself rather than the racing, I guess. We'll have a bit of a switching positions between Russell and Esteban, and also Leclerc, Gasly, Alonso, Valtteri switching from 4th to 7th real quick. We've got Will Buxton just screaming in my ear, as he does. But yeah, the aim is to try and maybe get safe from Gasly for a bit and charge to get Sainz. But I feel like the Red Bull riders, or drivers, sorry, are already a bit too far for me. But then again, I do have the 4th best car, so it would be logical that I lose Ferrari and Red Bull. And as we approach our lap to pit, you can just see basically the tires drop off. So we followed like the normal pattern, but sometimes you can just get better tire wear for some odd reasons and go longer or shorter. This is meant to be the lap where I box, so I'll most likely do one big in lap. What's quite interesting is to see is that you have a lot of drivers going for an alternate strategy. Sainz, Perez, Hamilton, Vettel, Russell as well. So I don't know where I'm gonna end up after the pit stop.
Just advanced.
Thank you, Will, but I need Will to like, it may not even be Will, I don't know who it is, but he just needs to speak less loudly. All I need right now. All of the leaders have gone into the pits. I reckon I'll be out. I'm gonna exit P5, which is a net P5. So, I mean P7, but P5. Not great, but I don't think I can fight for anything more this year. Oh, well, we're gonna see a crash, I guess. Alright, let's see what happens. I feel like the crashes are a bit generic. I'm gonna guess the Alpha misses the braking points and crashes into the McLaren. I think that is the only time I've seen drivers crash in this game. No safety car involved, but yeah, it's a bit generic, we'll say crash-wise. Max Verstappen has started the final lap. He is leading the race with a massive gap over Carlos Sainz. So I reckon he's going to clutch the win easily. I'll fight for P4 on the final lap. Hopefully we can do well. I've managed the ERS quite well, I think.
Don't know what's happening.
Don't worry, Charles, I got you. Well, very well placed. We've got the GRS. Come on, inside. Inside. Charles, brother.
Max Verstappen.
I believe we're going to get P5. I don't think we're going to make a move on Mr. Alonso. Don't know what that was. Oh, you know what? Oh, actually. And we're going to jump him right on the line. P4 for Charles Leclerc. Esteban clutches P9 in the race won by Verstappen. Again, don't really need the result because this is season 2 as well. So there's been a lot of progression car-wise. But yeah, Leclerc gets 4th. Probably the best thing I could have done. Final screen is your driver experience. If you do full practice, full sessions of qualifying, and a decent race, you get maximum points, I guess. If you fail, you lose some of them. And the more you get points, the more experience points you get to improve your riders. But with that, I believe that this marks the end of this first impressions, which is probably like my 7th impression by then. If I were to say whether you should get the game or not, I'm going to be direct. I'm not sponsored by F1 Manager or anything. This is one of the best games I've played in a very long time. If you love manager games like I do, like I play FM on a daily basis. I mean, my channel is literally based on a cycling management game. You will absolutely love F1 Manager. And that's even if you don't like F1, I think. But if you love F1, it's an added plus. But yeah, I would get the game. I believe it comes out tomorrow at the time I'm uploading this. So if you want to have fun, if you want to play F1 but don't really want to actually race, this is the perfect game for you. And again, if you've enjoyed the video and want to see more F1 Manager content, whether it's on air or on my Twitch, then destroy the like button and do let me know what you want me to do with this game. Because I know for a fact I'll carry on playing with it. My name is Guillaume. Have an amazing day. See ya.